high above and skidded across the path. Hunter removed his hand from hers and used both on the steering wheel to drive. The rig jumped, and Tammy Jo clasped the handle on the dash. The earth is loose. We should stop." "We're fine." Hunter drove faster, his head down, as the vehicle bumped and jumped over the rocks. The ground turned to pine needles and snow mixed with mud, slushy with a side of freeze. She craned her neck to look up the mountain. "There's a lot of snow higher up. It's not frozen, Hunter. Just the noise from the razors could cause problems, vibrations and all of that." He shrugged a wide shoulder. "I can handle it. Don't worry." She stared over the side of the cliff, biting the inside of her cheek until it stung. Forlorn-looking spruce, pine, and alder trees peppered the embankment down at least 3,000 feet to the bottom of a deep gully. She shivered. The mountain roared. She jerked her head. "What's—" "Hold on!" Hunter yelled. She gasped and swiveled as far as the harness would allow, to see snow and mud break loose from the craggy mountain face above them. "No, we—" The avalanche poured down, right into them. The force struck the driver's side, nearly tipping them over. "Shit!" Hunter yelled, furiously whipping the wheel to the right and turning the four-wheeler. The wall of mud and snow pushed them over the cliff, face first. Tammy Jo slammed against her harness and pressed her hands on the dash, screaming. Terror ripped through her as they slid down the cliffside, close to a massive drop-off she hadn't seen from above. They were going to die. "I need to hit a tree," Hunter gritted out, his hands and feet working wildly to keep the rig pointed down so it wouldn't roll over. She couldn't breathe. The harness cut into her, and her butt rose slightly off the seat while her hair hung forward. Hunter whipped the steering wheel, and they went into a skid, crashing into 2 pine trees on the passenger side. Tammy Jo careened against the door, and pain burst through her shoulder. She cried out, "Hold on!" Hunter grabbed her hand. She blinked, tears falling down her face. Tree branches, snow, and mud smashed into the rig and went by toward the cliff. But the trees kept them in place. "We'll be okay," Hunter yelled, his body tense. "Just keep still. It'll pass." She gasped out air, trying not to scream. A branch thumped on the front window, and she jumped. Then she looked closer. "Is that—" It looked like an arm, attached to half a hand, with broken-off nails. More mud tumbled the flesh away. Then a leg. Then another arm. Finally, the roar of the avalanche died down. A round object plunked onto the window and rolled to a stop. A skull, with stringy blonde hair coming out of the scalp, stared right at them. Hunter screamed, high and loud, his voice sounding just like a toddler on a carnival ride. Chapter 1. Laurel Snow swiped through the calendar on her phone while waiting for the flight to D.C. to board. The Warren Airport chairs at LAX were as uncomfortable as ever, and she tried to keep her posture straight to prevent the inevitable backache. Christmas music played through the speakers, and an oddly shaped tree took up a corner, its sad-looking branches decorated with what might have been strung popcorn. The upcoming week was already busy, and Laurel hoped there wouldn't be a new case. She stuck in her wireless earbuds to allow an upbeat rock playlist to pound through her ears as she rearranged a couple of meetings. The phone dinged, and she answered while continuing to organize the week. "Snow?"
"Hi, Agent Snow. How did the symposium go?"
asked her boss, George McCrombie. "As expected," she said, swiping a lunch meeting from Thursday to Friday. "I'm not a teacher, and half the time the audience looked confused. A young woman in the front row had serious daddy issues, and a young man behind her was facing a nervous breakdown. Other than that, one guy in the last row exhibited narcissistic..."